It's starting to rain. What's poppin', people? It's Dante. Yeah, it's definitely drizzling. Can feel it. And yeah, today I'm just filming with the GoPro Mini 1080p, 30 FPS, exported to 720p because smaller is better. Smaller cameras, smaller file sizes, small JPEGs. It seems that the minimalist approach is wise. So yeah, today I'm just getting started walking down JFK Boulevard. Who killed Kennedy? And you know, firstly, walking is so critical in my life. You know, can you imagine walking 50 miles a day like a bear through the forest? That seems to be extremely audacious. The goal of walking 50 miles. Is it possible? I feel like I've only gotten to like 30 miles if I really calculated it. And what is it with like metrics and like humans attaching numbers to things, like whether it's time, you know, like the hours in the day, the minute is ticking, every second counts, right? Time is money. You know, what is productivity? For me, it seems like wasting time is productive. Just kind of walking more and just, you know, being outdoors. Sort of, you know, treating yourself like a Spartan that's just trying to increase his strength is probably the best way to spend your time building your body. But is that seen as vain or insane? I don't know, maybe. It's probably better to be insane then. Because I think actually, you know, when you consider the mind-body connection, perhaps the body must be strong before the mind. And so by walking and increasing your strength, even just through walking, really, I mean, you become more, you see more and experience more, but also you can overcome these sort of like mental blocks or maybe emotional feelings that are irrational, and they are in your control through physical activity. So maybe physical leisure, physical productivity is productivity. Anything that requires your body moving seems to be wise. I'm not a fan of static. I must be constantly moving. And yeah, perhaps the greatest pleasure, the greatest sense of luxury and success in life is merely being outdoors, right? Being under the sun, being under the stars, under the moon. You could have the fastest Wi-Fi. You could have the best price guaranteed on that Uber Eats meal or that Amazon good. But it will never, you know, beat the great outdoors, right? Where yeah, you feel like you can conquer the world when you put yourself out there into the abyss, into the chaos. Yeah, coming down into Hades right now is not the greatest place to think, as the ceiling is so low. I don't like these sort of like tight, dark spaces, but I came down here because it's starting to drizzle a little bit, actually. So I'm just staying dry while I can.
Specific time, like you gotta do it every half hour.
That's the only problem with the Ricoh, is it's like not weather resistant. I mean, it's fine in a drizzle, it's not gonna break or anything, but actually considering Ricoh making some sort of like, I mean, I saw on their website they have like these like durable Ricohs, like Ricoh Rugged, whatever, for like construction sites and stuff. But it would be cool if like the official Ricoh was kind of just like built that way. Who knows if that's possible? Anything is possible. Ricoh, make a Ricoh Rugged, please. But yeah, I like dynamics. Like I like going inside, outside, kind of just like walking upstairs, walking downstairs. But yeah, being underground is no bueno. Being underground, being in a cave. Yeah, I guess bears go for hibernation. But if a bear can walk 50 miles, yeah, perhaps there is something about that hibernation period. You know, sleeping is so critical. I feel like the more I sleep, the more energy I have. Going to bed extremely early because I'm so insanely excited for the next day. Even if it's doom and gloomy or whatever outside. I mean, it's all it's all in your mind, right? You must open your mind without any preconceived notions of what you will find, and sort of go where the wind blows and let life flow. To follow your intuition, I believe, is what street photography is all about. And considering street photography is the best photography, where, you know, they have these like art shows and festivals at Rittenhouse Square, and they have, you know, lots of different artists presenting their work. I like a lot of the woodwork they make, like these cool chairs and sculptures and things. But for the most part, I mean, I'd say that the work isn't that great. The better art is the street art. And there's some street artists that sell their work across the street that aren't invited to the official festival, and those pieces are always way better. So yeah, it seems that street art is the best art. Street photography is the best photography. Like anything made outdoors in a candid approach, it's just more exciting. So yeah, I find that, you know, street photography being the best photography and street art being the best art, perhaps street photography is the best art. Yeah, it just offers the most dynamics, the sort of out of control nature of things, the spontaneity, and the joy of photographing. You know, there's something about the medium that just gives you this ultimate sense of freedom and power. And one way to give yourself that freedom is delete your Instagram, make a WordPress.org blog, hosting on Bluehost.com, first name, last name, install the Astra theme, plug and play, and yeah, make your own virtual gallery and share your own thoughts from your own perspective. I think of photography and video in this way now, where if I approach something, I think, is this good for a photo, video, maybe both? You know, the goal ultimately is to keep things raw and authentic, and to not think of good or bad photos where you just make pictures as you wish, as you please from your perspective, and it all counts. Where, you know, when you remove yourself from the social medias and you give yourself your own space to play and plug things in how you want, you know, you have more creative potential, creative freedom, and creative thriving, just through that simple action alone of owning the space in which you know, present the work itself. But when I think of photo and video, I like thinking, when I approach something, I'm like, you know, maybe this would be good for a Ricoh snapshot. Maybe I could make a video with my GoPro to share the experience. Perhaps a 360 video could be cool. You know, maybe I can do something with my iPhone. Like, using the multimedia approach seems wise. And perhaps considering media, yeah, maybe the citizen journalist is a good approach to think about, where actually treating yourself like the news agency, as the media empire, right? Your perspective perhaps has some validity to it, or truth to it in a way, where, you know, we can create stories. Like, let's create a story right now. What's poppin', people? It's Dante reporting live from Market Street. We have dead birds on the street. What's going on? Can we get PETA out here to fix the streets? Could we get someone to help and to clean up this poor bird and pick him up from his feet? You know, it's just interesting. It's like you could you could become the media empire, and the news anchor, the news source, whatever. Just, you know, the power is in the hands of we the people. And to think that way, I think it's just liberating. It's fun. I'm being lighthearted about it, but I also am serious in a way. You know, imagine if more world leaders spoke their mind, right? I think just more people speaking their mind candidly without any, you know, imagine if they didn't have imagine if, like, the presidents of the world didn't have a teleprompter, they didn't pre-write their speeches, and everything was spoke from the heart and candidly, and they just spoke their mind. I think the world would be a better place overall, you know? I think the more that people speak their mind, share their perspective in a raw and authentic way, the better. And I think also with photography, video, even consider people making YouTube videos. Imagine if a person making a YouTube video didn't take 15 cuts to make a talking head segment in their video, and they just actually spoke their mind. You know, I think that raw, candid, authentic approach is the future of media and photography, whether it's video, photography, etc. But yeah, when I approach things nowadays, I think of how I can conquer it through the medium of photography, through video, through photo, through audio. And yeah, it seems to be a wise way of going about this thing. And ultimately treating the blog as the final source or the final place to present work. It's kind of a liberating feeling because you can do things with the work in your own way, in a different way maybe. You know, I still am just getting started with it, so it's like there's just so much potential, and I think that is a good thing. There's only upsides. So like, yeah, basically make your camera the slave. You know, don't be a slave to your camera, don't be a slave to the medias. To own the space where you present the media is good, and also just having that full control over your camera, where the camera, like, you're taking the camera for a walk, the camera is your slave. And yeah, setting it into the P mode, the auto modes, having everything done in camera. You know, we don't need to process any files when you go home. Small JPEGs, everything baked in. You know, making the camera your slave is perhaps a mindset where you don't allow the focal length choice or, you know, the settings and things to get in the way, and you just remain in that spirit of play. And yeah, you just follow your gut and make pictures however you feel fit. This is Dante here. Yeah, just reporting live from the streets of Philly. Make media, share your thoughts, do your own thing, and don't be a sucker.